for any political reason, they must be able to get a reward. But unfortunately for Obed, he did not get that reward, and it was really, really difficult for him to navigate through the CDC. Whether he grew frustrated subsequently, that's not something that I can speak to. He's going to tell us. But this morning is going to be joining us to talk about, a number of issues of national concern, as well as its relationship with the CDC. But my name is Matthias Labinde. I'm here with Markio Bayo. It's good to be here this morning. Markio also lined up some things. What is your take, by the way, on the position of the vice president? Does it go with the saying that the vice president position is a ceremonious position, is a parked car? Well, I think this time around, the current president of the Republic of Liberia is changing that dynamics, because this vice president cannot say that he's a parked car in my mind, because he's given some responsibilities to execute. Because when you are a parked car, you're not going to have a chance to move around to do anything. All right. But then you have to ensure that you work and, and do. You have to be parked and stay one place. Nobody's going to give you a task. Nobody's going to give you any responsibility. But in the case of Vice President Jeremiah Kpankong, we saw that the president even turned over the investigation of the yellow machine, issue in the country. So that is a very huge responsibility given to the vice president's office. All right. The vice president office oversees the group of 72nd or 77, right? Those disabled people. It is the vice president office that oversees that. How can you be a parked car when you have such huge number of people that you're dealing with? So I'm just touching base with our guest. I'm sure he's up already. At this point, it's 2:00 right now, where he's going to be joining us from. So I just want to let you know, Mr. Obed, that yes, we are on course. So I'm going to end the call now so that we can do the arrangement from that side, and then the producer will put you through the call at 8:00. But thanks for waking up. Our guest is already up. As the most important thing, we got him. So Mark, as I was just saying, it is difficult for Mr. Kong to say that he is a parked car at this point.
Are you saying it's a wrong characteristic of the position
of himself at this point? Yes. Right now, he's not a parked car. He's not. And in fact, even President Joseph Jomaah Boakai was not a parked car. You preside. You are how do you call it? At the Senate, how is the vice president considered? He's considered as presiding.
The presiding officer. He is a presiding. In fact, he's the president of the Senate.
Of the Senate.
He presides over a section.
Okay.
Even though he don't have legitimate voting right, but what happens here is that in a case where there are tie votes,
right,
he can come in and cut the tie.
So a parked car cannot do all of that. Even President Joseph Jomaah Boakai at the time was being dishonest to the Liberian people to have said to us that he was a parked car. He himself has some responsibilities that the president was giving him. So I think when they talk about parked car, in my mind, probably they're saying it in the context of you not making the decisions, generally for the running of the state of affairs of the country. And you're not going to have a president where you as vice president are going to be the one deciding the fate of the country. The president was elected. All right. You were just invited by this person who contested for this position to say, come and be with me on this particular joining, so that we can be able to be, to win the elections. You bring your own popularity, I bring mine. Let's do it together until we can win the elections. When the elections are won, Mark here, you cannot come to the public now and say to us that you're a parked car. All right. For me, I don't consider the vice president position as just a ceremonious position as a parked car, because you can only be a parked car when the president is not giving you responsibilities to execute. In the case of Mr. Jeremiah Kpankong, he's receiving those he's getting responsibilities. He's executing tasks on behalf of the office of the presidency. So then how can he be considered as a parked car?
So, Mafia, up to another issue that was highlighted. Do you know that the motorcyclists are planning another protest on today?
Yeah, they said they should do that every Monday, every working Monday.
But according to the planner, today's motive is quite different from their demand of the cancellation of no-go zone. Today, they want to demand for opposition in government. They say in as much that the government is putting stop to them from ride motorbikes, They are not demanding for office job. They want to sit in AC, and then they want to sit in an office where AC going to beat them.
Why they are, I mean, they should not involve comedy in their own exercise. All right, they shouldn't be comical about it. First, I have this. There's this thing. There's something trying to find on social media here. Okay. The Minister of Information, right, posted something on his social media page. He said, "Protest care." All right. I mean, maybe not many people may understand that. Basically, he's trying to say what in protest. Now, the point is, I think the picture he's trying to portray is that you are talking about protest, but you have politicized yourself as a person. The leader of that group, the group they call Supreme Motorcyclists Union. All right, here is the post done by the Minister of Information. This guy is seen wearing a CDC beret.
Don't you think it's an AI generated photo?
What? No, man. No, I don't think the Minister of Information would subject himself to portraying images that are AI generated. No.
Okay.
I mean, this guys who doesn't know that this fellow that led the protest the last time is a member of the CDC. All right. If you check his social media page, you see that he's a mobilizer in the CDC. All right. But I mean, the point is, I think, yes, one would say, well, but Matthias, these people, they are Liberians. They have the right to form part of political organizations. I agree. But in the same vein, you should not appear like you are being used by politicians. You have a very important issue. You have a very important issue to highlight. In highlighting this issue, you need to divorce yourself from politics so that it can be seen as though you are being used by opposition CDC to come back to limelight. Because, Mark, if you notice, the CDC, since it came, the United Party came to power, I mean, it has not really raised much substantive issues that we garner the kind of attention that we saw when the motorcyclists protested lately. It is now going behind this motorcyclist issue so much so that it is the most topical issue at the moment.
Okay.
Because there's some logic in the points that even the motorcyclists are pushing. I share with them the questions that they're asking. Some of the questions they're asking are that, why would you take money from us to regularize our status? And subsequently, because of an incident, you are saying there's no go zone. The reason why we bought the helmets, we bought 2 helmets, one for the passenger, one for ourselves. We register, we got stickers, we got insurance, we got licenses, we got plate numbers. It's because we want to be able to ply the streets of Monrovia so that we can be able to generate resources for ourselves. If we go back into the communities, once we are in the community, we don't need those things. Most of the motorcyclists running in the communities, they are not registered. And where I live, most of the time when you ask the guy, even some of the guys, when you ask them to take you from Thumbs Up to Cardwell Junction, they don't want to go because most of them are not registered. Because once you get to Cardwell Junction, you will meet motorcyclist unions there.
Okay, so we have to go for VOA quickly. When we come back, then we'll continue the conversation. Even though we wanted to touch on the issue that's currently going on in Nima County. That is the replacement of the late Senator Prince Johnson. But let's go for this VOA break quickly and be right back.
Are trying to recapture territory in Kursk that was seized by Ukraine last August. Months later, Ukrainian troops in Kursk run the risk of being encircled. Israel has cut off the electricity supply to Gaza. More from VOA's Joe Ramsey.
The move has affected a desalination plant producing drinking water for part of the territory. U.S. designated terrorist group Hamas calls it part of Israel's starvation policy. Sunday's announcement came a week after Israel suspended supplies of goods to the territory of more than 2 million people. It's pressing Hamas to accept an extension of the first phase of their ceasefire. That phase ended last weekend. Hamas instead wants to start negotiations on the ceasefire's more difficult second phase. Gaza has been largely devastated, and Israel has faced sharp criticism over cutting off supplies. Joe Ramsey, VOA News.
A war monitoring group says the death toll from 2 days of clashes between Syrian security forces and loyalists of ousted President Bashar al-Assad has risen to more than 1,000. More from VOA Steve Miller.
The deaths include nearly 750 civilians and is one of the deadliest acts of violence since Syria's conflict began 14 years ago. U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio condemned those behind the killings and demanded that the interim administration hold those responsible to account. A Syrian Defense Ministry spokesperson says that their forces have made rapid progress reestablishing control in the conflict areas. Interim President Ahmed al-Sharar, who led the Sunni Islamist group Hayat Tahrir al-Sham that spearheaded the lightning offensive that toppled Assad, called for national coexistence after the killings. Steve Miller, VOA News.
This is VOA News. Pope Francis has issued a message thanking volunteers for the miracle of tenderness they offer the sick as he continues his recovery from double pneumonia. For the fourth Sunday in a row, Francis did not appear for his weekly noon blessing, but the Vatican distributed the text he would have delivered if he were well enough. In it, he thanked all those who were caring for him and others who were sick and experiencing a night of pain. Doctors on Saturday reported some positive news. After more than 3 weeks in the hospital, the 88-year-old Pope is responding well to treatment and has shown a gradual slight improvement in recent days. AP correspondent Julie Walker reports U.S. President Donald Trump is downplaying business concerns about an uncertainty from his tariffs and prospect of higher prices.
President Trump dismissed business concerns over the uncertainty caused by his planned tariffs on American trading partners. In an interview with Fox News' Sunday Morning Futures with Maria Bartiromo, Trump did not rule out the possibility of a recession this year.
I hate to predict things like that. There is a period of transition because what we're doing is very big. We're bringing wealth back to America. That's a big thing. And there are always periods of, it takes a little time.
He says his plan for tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada and then quickly paused them. I'm Julie Walker.
House Republicans have unveiled a spending bill that would keep federal agencies funded through September 30th, AP correspondent Donna Warder.
The bill would give a slight boost to defense spending and trim non-defense programs below their 2024 budget levels. That's likely a non-starter for most Democrats, but Congress must act by midnight Friday to avoid a partial government shutdown. House Speaker Mike Johnson is gearing up for a Tuesday vote on the bill, and he's essentially daring Democrats to vote against it and risk a shutdown. President Donald Trump is praising the bill, writing on X that Republicans have to remain united, no dissent. Top Democrats on the House and Senate Appropriations Committees say they strongly oppose the continuing resolution and that it would give Trump and Elon Musk more power over federal spending, which, quote, threatens families in blue and red states alike, end quote. Donna Warder, Washington.
Flight cancellations at Hamburg Airport after a surprise strike by workers have affected more than 40,000 passengers. The disruption came a day before a planned wider protest across Germany amid new contract negotiations. The airport said that only 10 of more than 280 scheduled flights came and went as planned Sunday. That wraps up this update, but the world and news never stop. For additional updates, visit our website, voanews.com. I'm Tommy McNeil, VOA News.
Hour after hour of commercial. SOG.
After love now, you make my heart let talk it loud. My people let me talk. If I go back to my ex, let me bend. But she took my love for granted. Treat me like that, letting her missing. Letting her me to my ex, thunder fire you. You made me spend my palm on you, and you tell me, say, you promised to stick on to the end. Or you leave me hanging, thunder fire you, and you tell me, say, my children will be calling. All I was better will be a babe. They will pray your heart run away. You tell me, say, my children will be calling. your husband away, your pain. You will cry your eye and run away. Your turn of state taking picture. Girl, you are certified user, so don't get it. La misma cama, so you in a life of a crew. Tell her, hey, my pump 10 crazy. Say, don't really kill him and give me hit. Feeling falling for her, tend to pick up for love. She show me there. Getting catch on my way, tell my oh, about the guess well. Girl, I measure my heart to show you I love you. See how you chew me like you said fruit. Play me like Scooby-Doo and treat me like stupid fool. She said she mocked on Ninkachatu. She left for love, play, we all PK. She like jealousy, so I want my son. When she asked for A, I can fight to get her son. All my people, they're pulling me from my little son. All my people, they're pulling me from my little son. All my people, they're pulling me from my little son. I let you do, and you tell me, say,
And somehow I don't know why Michael is so much in love with this song. Probably he got his heart broken some time ago, and he's still cursing this person. you know, and he and the girl is swearing each other. But I'm not too sure anybody has broken his heart. But it's a nice song there.
No, but I have chopped breakfast before, so.
Oh, you chopped breakfast? Somebody woke you up with breakfast and just said, "Man, I'm out."
Yeah, but I do not have anything in mind for that person.
And your thunder is not taking push-up.
No.
Have you released it?
No, I'm not even intending to release anything like thunder.
That's right. It's going to be here every morning talking about issues of national concern, interacting with people who have their thoughts to share on relevant national issues. Welcome to the program Sky Morning Live on Sky 107.1. My name is Matthias Labindi. I'm here with my by Mr. Obed. Obed is a long-time big brother, and we've had some time together talking about issues of national concern. There was a time, I don't know whether those of you who remember yesterday, Mark, somebody sat me down somewhere and explained to me all of the institutions I worked with. They started cataloging how they've been following me from Red Power, going to Capital FM, coming to Radio Maria, going to ABC Radio, coming to Sky, and in fact, they also follow the Forest Hour show on OKFM. I say, wow, then you are a religious listener. So the person even told me that they used to follow a program called what's the program? I used to present a program every Saturday, the Obed Show. So the show I used to present on Capital FM, the Obed Show, the man that I was behind that show is the man that we're hosting this morning. He appeared on that show only once, to the best of my knowledge. All the time I hosted the show, it was not about him, by the way. He was doing the show to promote the CDC, presidential bid. CDC came to power. Why did he benefit? Maybe that's not relevant, but we're going to talk a bit about that. But let's bring in Mr. Obed from the United States of America. I don't know which state he's joining us from, but I know that right now the time is 2:00 where he's joining us from, so 2 a.m. So he woke up this morning just for this show. So after the 1 hour conversation, maybe he's going to go back to bed. But as a former military personnel, probably he's just going to be training until day clears. Good morning, Obed. Welcome to Sky Morning Live.
Hey, thanks for having me, bro.
Welcome. How are you doing? It's been a while. It's been a long time since.
Yeah, I have not forgotten you, bro. I have not forgotten you. Just like when I came back to the United States after that CDC thing, I suffered some medical complications.
Okay.
From my activity with the Iraq war and stuff. But they told me ahead of time before that it was going to happen. So it was nothing new, but I didn't know when it was going to happen.
So what did they tell you? They told you that a medical complication would have happened?
Yeah, because I got one in the Iraq war.
Yes.
The second for the Iraq war. And they gave me a blood transfusion that, I'm O negative, right?
Okay.
So I got a blood transfusion that didn't agree with me. You know, so they said that it might affect either my brain or my heart or my liver or something, my lung.
Okay.
Doctor told me that the brain, the lungs, the liver, the kidney are all connected. So if one get affected, so the other get affected. So, but the work, you know, these are broken doctors. They're good at what they do.
Right.
Yeah, they kind of figured it out. By 2018, when I returned from Morocco from the campaign, that President George in power, things got really bad for me. So, and I suffer a congestive heart failure. So they took me to a hospital in Austin, Texas, and I had a triple bypass surgery and the blood drain and an O negative in there. And then the next thing, you know, when your heart goes back, it's the kidney, the brain, one of you got to get affected. So for me, it was the kidney that went back.
Oh wow.
So yeah, so that's how I got home. Dialysis very early, got arrested, but the damage was already done, you know.
But you're okay now, right?
Oh yeah, I'm okay now. I got a new kidney transplant.
Oh wow. I mean,
Just February 1st, I got a kidney transplant.
This February? This year?
Yeah, after 9 years of being dialysis, I got kidney transplant just this February.
Well, it's good to hear. I mean, that you've recovered, you're strong again, you're back on your feet. You know, my encounter with you back in 2017 for almost a year, all through the campaign process, was as a result of your decision to single-handedly support the CDC in your own weak way, the way you thought you could have. That is by, you know, running a talk show, running a show that will you know, help elevate CDC's agenda, campaign agenda. You named the show the Obed Show, and I was the presenter of that particular show on Capitol FM. You invested a lot. In fact, the information have it that you were also providing rice, you know, and other items to the CDC during the campaign process. But after the election, I thought, given your military experience, you fought, you know, in several wars for the United States of America, and then I thought you would have been called back to Liberia to serve, you know, your country. But that didn't happen. All through the 6 years, I didn't see you back here to come and work for Liberia. Probably you got some job somewhere. But to begin with, let's you know, share with us, what was your relationship like with the CDC all through the 6 years, even though you're giving your support to the CDC during the elections?
The best way to explain that is for you to follow me to the CDC headquarters, because those kids always hit me on social media. You know, they always ask me to come back, but I say I can't. But you are right, though. You said that I appeared once on the show when it started.
Yeah.
That was with Polita CC. Remember when she came over there?
Right. That's what I'm saying. The show you sponsor a whole show that was not about you. Though you name it, you put in your name, the Obed Show, but you actually wanted to promote the CDC.
Yeah, but you see, this is what happened. I will give all credit to Molly Passaway.
Right.
I got a call from Monrovia that the CDC wasn't being broadcast on any station in Monrovia. So I noticed that Molly Passaway was working with you guys.
Right.
And he's a very good friend of mine.
Right.
So I flew from here that day, and I went straight to, when I left the airport, I went straight to Capital FM.
Right.
Right there on 9th Street.
Right.
And I met Molly Pastor. I said, man, we got to broadcast the CDC. He said, I met over that thing when that happened. I said, look, just let me talk to management. That's how we talk to management, and they charged me the fees. But now I was looking for a presenter.
Right.
And that's how Molly Passaway connected me with you. But we wanted to name the show the CDC Hour. I don't know if you remember.
Right. And I told you that would have been difficult for me to present a show called CDC Hour. Right. right. I mean,
I could see the nervousness, man.
Yeah, like, what? I can't sit on the radio to present it.
Yeah. So the management can say, now you see there, we got to rename the show.
Yeah.
So that's how we came up with the. I think you don't want to call it the Obed show.
Yeah, the Obed show.
You.
Right.
You said that call it the Obed show.
Yeah.
But I already have my own strategy in place. That's how Sam Woozy came through.
Right.
That's how Jefferson Kojine came through.
Right.
Akawas Gray.
All the guys used to appear on the show with me. They used to sit with me. Yeah. Right.
I brought a whole CDC gang over there.
Right.
And I was paying all that money. And I think I still owe you some salary because at the time,
and I mean that.
No. Matai, do mainly like I pay you. I pay you.
Right.
But at the time, the last salary did not come because the campaign had just started.
Absolutely. Agree.
Yeah. So at that time, I was busy. I was in Kema. I was in Nimba.
Yeah.
All over the place. So it did not happen. Yeah, but I still owe you that money.
Absolutely.
But it has to grow in interest. It's just yeah.
No interest.
But I want to thank you, man. I want to thank you. You did well. But I did more than that, though. I even, like you said about Becca Rest, I went to the party headquarters. I saw the kids laying out on the bamboo bench. Man, I'm a dad, okay? I see all these young kids. I felt really bad. So I contacted Janga Cole. I said, Janga, I cannot cost you for you guys, but I will make 10 Becca Rest available every month to feed the kids on the at the party headquarters. So it was Kula who used to go pick the rice up, bring it to Janga Cole. And at the same rice, your man was eating. Your so-called president. Former president.
But on a serious note, I know that you are this man with this sense of humor. You very serious thing like this. Some people will be very angry and so, but here you are. You're putting humor in this conversation. You were paying $400 United States a month for the show to be aired on the radio. You were paying me to present the show. At the same time, you were buying rice to give to the CDC. Probably you were giving some, financial assistance as well. At some point, you had to leave America to come down to Liberia to go into the trenches and campaign. After the campaign process, CDC got elected. 2017, 2018, George Weah took over. Many Liberians have this philosophy that the reward for politics is not in heaven, it's on earth. Why did you benefit from the CDC for 6 years?
Look, what I benefit the most is the relationship I developed with the CDC voters, not the guy at the higher echelon of the party, but the average voters.
Okay.
These are the kids that every time they see me, they'll be the people, what you did for all, thank you. And I feel emotional about that. I don't know if you can tell from my voice. That's the best reward you can get. That's more than gold to me. To go to Monrovia and the kids telling me, say, people, when you come in, let us know, we'll go escort you. And I don't tell them because CDC when they come in, noise,
they come with numbers.
Yeah, so I don't tell them. I just sneak into the country, and plus it was doing George Weah at the time, so I never wanted him to feel like being an ex-military person. Now I'm trying to, I'm coming in covertly to subvert his government.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I don't want all that crowd. I believe in the rule of law, so I was just sneaking into the country. So now I go to Nima quietly, or then when I'm leaving, come to Monrovia and stuff like that. That's what I did. I went to Monrovia, Liberia several times when we were president. But they didn't know that just because the kids wanted to come, and they were like, we'll take you from the airport, bring you straight to the party. You know how they act, right?
Right.
So I never wanted all that publicity. So I can feel nervous because of, and our people been through a lot. So I don't want anybody misinterpreting, my coming over there as somebody who want to disrupt the peace. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's what I gain.
So for you, is that okay? Is that okay? For many people, that's not okay. I thought personally, given my relationship with you, when the CDC won the elections, I went back home one day and told my fiance that big brother is going to be the defense minister, or maybe he's going to be the NSA director. I can tell you, honey, I am now going to get a friend, a big brother that's going to be seated at a privileged position. And hopefully, he might just reach out to me and say, Matthias, let's work together. You were not giving anything by the government, and you say the only thing you got is the relationship you established with the voters. Why were you not factor in the government for 6 years?
Well, people have their own way of doing things. What I heard from one of the CDC person, I really want to thank him a lot. his George Bode's son.
Okay.
The youngest Bode, he called me. He said, "My man, Obi, what they did to you was wrong. You sacrificed a lot for this party. What they did to you was wrong. My people telling me that I shouldn't defend you because I'm a Gil man. You will bring coup, all that." I said, "Why would I want to do that to legend? I will never do that to legend, you know. But if that's how they feel, then so be it, you know." So I took the backstage. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Now you know why when I come into Monrovia, Mattia, I don't want the CDC people to come get me. You see where I'm coming from now?
Right.
Yeah. So I know I wanted to create that uneasiness. So I just sneak into the country, do what I want to do, visit my family member, and leave.
Right.
You know, because that's what I did. I mean, if I were like some people, I could go to radio station. I have the resources.
For 6 years, you kept quiet. You said nothing.
Yeah,
you're speaking on this matter for the first time.
Yeah. Because that's who I am, man. Politics continues. You know what I'm saying?
But did you reach out to the government? Did you reach out to WIA or Janga Kowo, given your relationship with them that this thing has already happened? Now the cake has been made, it's been icing, and now can I get my cut of the cake? Did you reach out to them to get your share?
It's not necessarily about cake, Mattia. It's, you know, the people have the concept that government job is either building big house or sharing a cake. No, I do not see cake. I was just looking for change for the country. Mattia, see, those of us who are travel, if you come here, Mattia, and you see what happened here, you go back to the library and say, "Damn, we have all the resources. Why can't we do this?"
So wait. So you didn't do this to get any personal, reward from the government. You said you wanted to make a change. Did you appreciate the change that you brought to Liberia for the 6 years? You support the CDC. Can you say that your support to the CDC, bringing it to power, was it the right decision that Liberians made at that time in 2017?
Mattia, you saw the momentum that surrounded Joshua in our presidency. First of all, let's go back to the beginning. 2005.
Right.
That's where Joshua momentum built out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Ellen Johnson was the most advanced politician. So the international community went over. Will you agree?
Right.
Yeah, 2011, the same thing repeated. We was a clear winner of 2011, but they couldn't let him. You know, like I said, the Oma, you know, she played her card well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so they had to let her go for the second term. Because at the time, I don't know if you remember, they were finding battle boxes in the swamp. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
ECOWAS were heavily involved. At the time, we had the UN peacekeeping force in there. They were not just let we are winning like that. But he gave a shot that prepared him for 2017, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people said he bad patient. And we been with him. I've been there since 2005. Jefferson Koji and Mangineki in 2011. You see that?
Mm.
So, yeah, so when that happened, we said definitely this 2017 is reaction. Because, you see, Mattia, you do not judge people in the abstract. The level of calmness we are exhibited from 2025 or 2005, and then again in 2011, that qualified him for 2017. I mean, it was just fair,
you
know. But we thought that because he had traveled and he had seen things, he had talked to princes and kings and presidents as a soccer player, we thought he was going to mimic some of some of the things he saw out there in Europe and bring it to Liberia. But the opposite happened. But if I say I regret voting for George Weah, I did not regret anything. The only thing I regret is that when he became president, he did not go by what he says. And he took a whole different path from the CDC agenda.
That's where I'm coming from. That
right.
I am not asking whether you regretted supporting Weah, but whether what you saw in Weah that made you to support him for 6 years, all through the elections, you use your personal resources. I know how it feels. Though you are a retired military personnel, probably you earn a lot of money from the U.S. government or so, but taking your resources, coming here to support a political campaign, sponsoring a talk show on the radio, at the same time going to providing feeding, sometimes giving physical cash whenever you came down to Liberia, giving physical care to young people, taking them to the trenches to campaign. When people do this thing, there's something they hope to see whether they get personal reward or not, but at least they expect to see the country on a trajectory that will represent the kind of nation that they envision in their mind. Did you see that during the WIA's administration?
No, I did not see that, but I'm going to put it this way. You see, they got a famous parable here in the United States that says, you can take the horse to the river, but you cannot force the horse to drink. Okay?
Right.
WIA told us, I don't know if you have sat and spoken with WIA. When you sit down and talk to the brother, you will think the guy is a wise person. Like he's a philosopher.
Isn't he?
No, he's not.
Is that a wise man?
He's not a wise man. He's not close to being wise at all. He's just a talkative. You know, somebody who just say things and make promises that he doesn't keep. But you know, it was unfortunate. It was unfortunate. And I think you also heard that during the CDC time, I was buying decorations for people in Labrador. These are people who saw our campaigning. They will call me on social media. They will be like, "Oh, but are you people may vote for the man? Now we're hungry." Knowing me, like I said, I'm a dad, right? So I went against my way. Like this lady, I know her very well from the CDC headquarters. In fact, I was one of the influential person. I told her from Gator Oro, and she started voting. So I was like fully responsible for that lady for 6 years. But I don't announce that, You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Every time she named Becca Wright, I would ship it. And these are the 100-pound Becca Wrights. And I'll tell you, I say for 2 months. I did that throughout the whole 6 years. Because these are people that I encouraged campaign on Oro. And she know me very well, you know, when I used to live in La Paz. And now I was obligated now. I wish I was like Elon Musk. I could have taken care of the whole CDC youth that Georgia neglected. You know, when you get that framework code, you go to your mind, that hurt me. That hurt me more than what he did to me. Because these are the voters. You know. So that's some of the regret that I have. But besides that, personally for me, Georgia appointing me is a privilege. You know, it is not a right. You know what I'm saying? I did not campaign. You know, even though when you invest your resources in anything, you got to get a return, right? You got to get a return investment.
That's the point.
Yeah, but it is in politics, it is not guaranteed. So you are at the mercy of the person you elected. If they find out that they want you, they will bring you in. You do not have to fire or go to radio station and make noise. I don't do that. All I do is my philosophy is different. I take a step back and I just let you be.
So you're
not going to get my vote again. That's definitely it.
So the CDC failed you on two fronts. One, it failed you. It did not call you on board to come and serve, even though you have the potential. Like I said to you, I thought you would have gone out of two areas. I thought you would have gone at one of the places that I had in mind. Right. I remember having a conversation where I said, "Big brother, from the look of things, you might go to the defense or probably the National Security Agency, given your vast experience in military, right. Most especially an advanced country like America. You fought for America on several wars and things. Now you got the CDC failed you by not bringing you in to serve. The CDC failed you by not leading the country in the proper trajectory, isn't that?
Natalia, let take me out of it. The CDC failed in not leading the country. I'll go with the second one. The first one is kind of personal matter. That's at the discretion of whoever you vote for. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, working in government is a privilege. It is not a right. We have to understand that. Okay, and most people do understand that. They go on radio station, they become disgruntled, and you can call about them yelling all over. I don't do that. I don't do that. All right. But if I compete for you, you will know me. You will hear my name. People will tell you what I did. You know, like I did for GMB. Right? But I'm not going to make noise about that if you do not call me. You see, so it is not about me. I'm more about what he did not do for the country. Look, if I don't want WIA to call me or GMB to call me, but if they do for the Liberian people what they promised, they made up promise during the campaign, I'm good. I'm 100% satisfied. Okay. When I met the old man in Philadelphia, I told the old man, I said, the only thing I want from your government is to pave the road from Ganta to the southeast. We have to connect that.
Which old man are you talking about? You met Honorable Buckeye?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was his brother guy. Every time he come here, they will call me.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I was his one of his executive protection officers. He knows that. So we were taking around. So I told him, I said, if you can just do the South, I said, your first 6 years, if you can just complete that Southeast road to connect our people to the Southeast from Ganta, so that food can come in from the Southeast and the people market can be destroyed because they be parking rest on the side of the road, instead of rain beat it, it's spoiled. I said, if you can do that for me, I'm good. And so far, I follow that project very closely. It's going well. It's slow, but at least it's a progress. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's going well. So that was my dream, and that's what he's doing. That's what I'm satisfied with. He doesn't have to call me to work in his government. Okay? That's up to him. That's his discretion.
But let's do some comparison. All right. Let's look at Weah's first year in office and Bouakar's first year in office. Though I know that you are an objective person, and I want you to take out your personal feelings out of this and give us objective, analysis of what is what. What do you make of the performances of the two leaders in their first year, in their first year in leadership?
But that's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. During our first year, we saw a lot of anarchy, man. Theft of national resources. Total anarchy. Okay? Lack of minimum security for the citizenry. There's no international recognition. Travel ban in your first year. So there's no comparison with Bouakar at all. It's not even close. At least our people can stay out now until 1 in the morning. But during the CDC time, the first year, when you become critical of them, they hunt you down. They had death squad going around, or semi death squad going around, beating up people, throwing rocks, a car going leading protests, those who sort of lead the country. So there is no comparison whatsoever. There have been no funds stolen. There have been no 60 billion issue. There have been no 25 million map of money. There have been no private jet bought for 36 million. So there is no comparison there at all. For me, I'm a security-minded person. Okay? The people did not feel safe in the first year. So that part is an easy answer for me.
Now let's bring it to Boakai. How did he proceed in the first year?
Well, first of all, the primary responsibility of any president is to provide security for his or her people. The people have to feel safe, even if there's no job. You know what I'm saying? They have to feel safe that they can stay out at night, that they can go hustle and come home at night without anybody kidnapping them and extracting their body parts that we saw during the CDC first year, where women were saw laying on the table with a body part extracted. That was horrible. That's one of the things I made me regret voting for the CDC. It's just I can't take that back. But that was horrible for me. In your first year, people are already scared. And people are comparing the CDC government similar to Samake Do or government during 1989 when the AFL went on a rampage. That's how it was. So that part hurt me. But we're not seeing that with this government. Okay? Nobody protesting. Nobody throwing rock at anybody. And this government is believing in the rule of law, even when they burn down the Capitol. And we know who the culprits are, but he wants them to go face the law, either they vindicate themselves or they find them guilty. You could not find that in the CDC. Okay? There was no rule of law. People commit crime to walk. You know what I'm saying? So there's no comparison between Weah and JMB at all. The level of security, like when I traveled to Labrador last year, the airport is calm. You know, the people are happy. People are in the bar and shop. We still out at midnight. I went to the first time I went to this club, Bahakomota Road. I don't know. I can't remember.
Calabash.
Calabash.
Yeah.
Calabash. Somebody just told me to go see it. I mean, people stay out at midnight. You couldn't find out during the CDC government. People were scared. People living in the street at 6 p.m. You not find out with this government. So there is no comparison. I'm not going to lie to you. There is no comparison. I'd rather have the security, even though there's no job for me, and go hustle my own thing and come back at midnight and feel safe, walking on the diary by myself, than to have a CDC government coming by where I have to be home at 5:30 when the hustle just started.
Well, I know you already jumping ahead of me. We're not talking about whether it's going to come back, but since you've already mentioned that, let's look at another point. I mean, those are your analysis, those are your thoughts, that there's no comparison between President Boakai and Weah first year in office.
Right.
But something happened recently, though, that sort of put the country, on the map for the wrong reason, where there was this clash between the armed forces of Liberia, some personnel of the AFL, and some personnel of the Liberia National Police. As a military personnel, a former military personnel, you still live, until you die, your security mindset will never go away, because that's why that's the best thing Never. All right. Let's get your view on this. That thing brought fear, amongst the populace in the country here, seeing the state security clashing with each other. What's your take? What do you think went wrong? What should have happened?
Okay, first of all, the AFL is just 68 years old. Okay, it started from 1908. It was a frontier force. We never saw that happen. And then it was renamed to the AFL in 1955 or 56, if my math, I think that's 56, to the Armed Forces of Liberia, and nothing like that happened. Okay. Now, the Armed Forces took a whole new turn, for the worse, when President Doe came to power. Okay. Now, to answer that question that you just asked, I want to go to the Constitution. And I know you agree with me that the Constitution is the supreme law of the land, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, we have the act that created the AFL, right? But that is solely for the AFL and its operation within the AFL. It is not the law of the land. This Constitution is the supreme law of the land. So if you have a defense minister who's going to set up a liaison between the chief of staff, the AFL, and the president, that defense minister must understand that the Constitution empowers the legislature with certain rights and privileges over the armed forces of Liberia. That the armed forces cannot move, deploy, or go anywhere without the approval of the legislatures. In fact, the defense minister should be in constant contact with the standing arm or the Committee on Armed and Security in the legislature. Okay. Now, I don't know if you have your Constitution open, but I'll give it to you in a nutshell. If you go to Article 34 and B and C, okay, Article 34 in the Constitution, the supreme law of the land, not the act that created the AFL. The supreme law of the land, if you go to Article 34 B and C, it says this: the legislature shall have the power. It did not say the legislature shall have some power or few power or tiny kind of power. It said the legislature shall have the power. And that word power is a big word. To provide for the security of the republic. It did not say the AFL should provide security for the republic, right? It did not say the police. It said the legislature shall provide for the security of the republic. Now, if you go to C, it also provides for common defense. But section C has subsection to declare war and authorize the executive to conclude peace. This is the part of the legislature. So the legislature would declare war. It did not say AFL should declare war. It will authorize. It did not say tell the executive. It did not say ask the executive. This is English material. They use the word authorize the executive to conclude peace. That's a part of the legislation. And now if you go there to the other subsection, it says the legislature shall raise and support the armed forces of Liberia.
Right.
It did not say the executive should do that. So you see, when they call the president the CRC, that's just a ceremonial title. Because the president occupies the highest office in the land. But the president does not have total control over the army. It is the legislature that has total control over the army. So whatever chief of staff you have there must understand that and treat the soldiers according to this law. Okay? The legislature make rules for the governor of the armed forces of Liberia. They make the rules.
Now let's hit it now.
Okay, no, yeah. You are not concluded yet.
Right.
Because you know that I'm passionate about this because this is my church.
Right.
You have people have to understand that. People think that the military is the uniform and the gun. No, the military is mental. You got to be trained mentally first, or in your mind to understand the army function before you even wear the uniform or hold the gun. Right? So the legislature make rules and governance of the armed forces of Liberia. So what happened between the police? Mataja, give me a little bit of time. Let me explain this to the Liberian people and they're listening. There are two sections of the country. They got the civil authority and the other authority is occupied by the military, right?
Mm.
Now, the police run the civil authority on the streets. That's why military barriers are in place. Okay, not open to everybody, open to military personnel and the staff that work in those places. So whenever a military personnel leave the barrack or the military installation and get on the street, you fall under civil authority at that moment, regardless of your rank.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the respect you will get from civil authority, it is a privilege. It is not a right. You have to understand that. So for the police to respect you, even if you're chief of staff, you have to behave accordingly. And understand that you fall under civil authority the moment you left your barrack. So if the police decide to clear the road for you, that's not your right. They're just doing it because they feel that you are a big person and they want to give you that courtesy. Keyword, courtesy. Right? So when the armed forces went and somebody sent me the video, say, oh, you're defending the police, this is what the police did to the soldier. I said, yeah, that's the civil authority. The police does not know the guy is an AFL soldier. People could impersonate, right, Matthias?
Right.
People impersonate the army.
Right.
People wanted to know who the guy was.
Right.
And that's his jurisdiction. And then the guy took it to the contrary and then called reinforcement and they started beating up this police guy. That was actually wrong. If I were defense minister, all those soldiers are out of the military by now. Article 15, chapter you out, you're gone and there's no tomorrow. Because you have to understand civil authority and military authority. Your authority does not go beyond the barrack. So what the armed forces right now, they need to go into an in-house training and really educate the case about military function and its operation.
So what action should have been taken against the police officer that carried out the act against the AFL man?
But first of all, you have to investigate the situation. First of all, you got to understand, Matthias, that the police run civil authority. That's why I mentioned civil authority, right?
Right.
The police were operating with ears confined. So anything that come in there, like you speeding, they will arrest you, right?
Right.
Okay. So they don't care who you are. Whether you're accused, they don't care. If you violate the traffic, they will arrest you. If you speed into it, they have the right to stop you, whether you are a general or not, because you could kill somebody, right? So the police was within jurisdiction. There's no punishment for that police to me. That's up to the police command. But if that would mean the police were within its right to ask the guy who you are. Even when the guy identified himself, the police had the right to say that's fake ID. Okay? Because people impersonate the army all the time. People dressing military uniform impersonating the army. So the police does not know that. People print ID card all the time. The police does not know that. But the police knew that this guy fought under civil authority. But it was the soldier who did not know where he was. He thought he was in the barrack. So that's why, to me, the police, I was just saying to some training and how to approach things better in a very amicable way, but I'm not going to do nothing to the police. It is the military now who has the problem. Because they are outside that jurisdiction.
So there should be some action. There should be some action taken against the military personnel. You're still calling for that,
right? Right. Now, there should be an incident report. Now, when the police contacted the soldier, the first thing that soldier should have done is to call his chain of command, right? Every metaphor within a unit, call your chain of command and say, hey, I'm out here and the police here is trying to harass me. I've identified myself and the police is saying no. And they're taking me to the police station. I'm at the police station or wherever he was. And then his sergeant, every unit has a sergeant.
That would have demonstrated discipline, right?
Exactly. Then the sergeant will come over there and go and talk to the police. But instead, he took matter in his own hand. The matter go by chain of command. You do not do anything on your own. You do not take matter into your own hand. All you have to do, write an incident report, give it to your chain of command, say this is what happened to you today. From that incident report, they're going to hit the chief of staff desk. The chief of staff is going to contact the defense minister because the defense minister says as a liaison between the active duty military and the civil authority. That's why the defense minister is always a civilian, not a military personnel. That what defense minister is just a ceremonial title. It had no military connection at all. It's just a minister. Okay, so now he then will, along with the defense minister, they will now go meet the police. Okay, and then the best way to do that, if you really understand the military and how the constitution works, I would have gone to meet the chair of security and defense at the legislature. I don't know who that is. It used to be this guy from Lofa, but he's not there anymore. So I don't know who chaired the security in at the legislature. I was giving him a call. Okay, because he chaired, the security on arm in the Senate. I was giving him a call. I said, look, the police just harassed one of my soldiers. What do you think we should do about it? And then together, maybe they will call the police director and then I this thing out. But that's not what the guy did. The guy thinks he's a soldier, he carried guns and stuff, and went rogue on this police officer. So he took his right and made it wrong.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, there's so far one of the best explanation I've gotten regarding this situation involving the army and the police. I don't know what the public think, but let me just bring one more issue to you quickly before we open the lines to hear from our listeners. Something is happening up Capitol Hill. I know you're a staunch follower of politics in Liberia. Capitol Hill is faced with two major issues. One is the burning of the Capitol, a portion of the Capitol, and two is the power struggle that's going on there. Let's deal with the power struggle in just a jiffy. In a jiffy, what's your take? What do you think? There's a new speaker now, and people say no, he's not a speaker, and Fonadisi considers himself a speaker, and all of that. What is your take?
Well, first of all, you have to understand the system of government you're practicing, and I'm going to explain this. I'm going to take my own time to explain this. Liberia is a representative democracy. Okay? Keyword democracy. In Mentaya, what happened in democracy? The majority rules. Right? Okay. So the democracy put any number on the majority. Did it give a specific number? No. Okay? So Funati said that he wanted for the now to leave. But he said did not reach the number. The opposition did not reach the number. So now, mathematics come into place. Who has the higher number in democracy wins. Right. That's what happened. Because in democracy, the majority rules. So that's how I support that one of, so I be critical of people, the government, but this time I support a code based on this principle. Based on democratic principle that we practice as a representative democracy. The key word, representative democracy. Majority of the people say we want new speaker, and once they're in the majority, the rule, they win. That's what happened. Okay? So all that thing that Kofi is doing, he knows this. He understands this, but he wanted to be a renegade. Okay? He could just left quietly, serve Grand Crew County, he could come back. But instead, he went on his page and talk about the Alamo. And I lived in Texas for 20 years. I know the history of the Alamo. Okay? It was a group of Americans at a religious compound called the Alamo, who resisted Mexico taking over San Antonio. Okay, so the Mexican forces came to root the guys out of the Alamo. The compound called the Alamo, it was like a priest compound, and they killed everybody in there and burned the place down. So when the news went across Texas, a new force was gathered, and they attacked the Mexican government, and today Texas became part of the United States. The hard Texas was won from Mexico. So when he posted that, the Alamo, he was actually telling his supporters to attack You know what I'm saying?
To attack the Capitol building.
The Capitol. So I was one of the people who explained that, and he already took it down. But at that time, it was too late. The state representative was already threatening to burn down the Capitol.
Right.
And it followed through on that, and the Capitol got burned. So, let's look here. If somebody threatened to kill somebody, and that person somehow end up out dead, who do you think they're going to blame? The person who threat, who put out the threat. That's the first suspect, right?
Right.
Okay. So that's what happened in the case. That national lawmaker should be in jail right now. Because he threatened to burn down the Capitol, and the Capitol got burned down. A 66-year-old historic Capitol. That thing hurt a lot of people in America here. What's your librarian? So there's no reason he should be a representative right now. He should be in jail.
I mean, you know what? One may think that you just coming from the military, the security, perspective. Maybe you not engaging it diplomatically, but rather you looking at from the military perspective. One may just differ with you.
No. I'm not looking at it from the military perspective. Okay, I'm looking at it from the conventional wisdom. If somebody threatening to kill your family member, and your family member end up dying, the first suspect is the person who threatened to kill your family member. That's the first person they will arrest. That person will be in jail while the investigation go on. That's what should happen. That's nothing to do with military. Okay?
I think
that's nothing to do with military matter.
Right. Let's just inform you, members of the public, that we are having a conversation with Mr. Obed there from the United States of America. He was a staunch supporter of the CDC. He used his finances to support the CDC, but did not get anything. He did not get a job. He did not get anything. But he said he's okay. He was okay with it. The fact that he has relationship with ordinary voters, that's the most important thing. Let me squeeze in a few calls, and maybe we'll bring in the last issue to you before we call it a day. Good morning.
Right.
Good morning. Hello. Yeah, you're live. Go ahead.
Hello.
Walk away from the noise. You got radio playing loud behind you, sir. Wow. Just walk away from the radio. Let me talk to my friend from Grand Bassa County, who is a former representative candidate there, Mr. Basigia.
Thank you, Matthias Ladini, for having me on the line, and thanks, Obed. I've been following him this morning.
You remember Obed at Capital FM? You remember the show you appeared on, that Obed show? There's the guy.
Okay, good.
Right.
All right. Okay, so he talked about the army.
Right.
And I can tell you for sure, by now the chief of staff should be gone.
Okay.
He should not be the chief of staff. What the army did was a test, it was a trial to the Labrimpo that they can overthrow the government anytime. That was their act that they exhibited.
Right.
You got no right to live in a barrack, and you tell me you're on a civil jurisdiction, but you cannot succumb to the civil jurisdiction. Even if you had an issue, you could call your military police. I will have MP in the army. You could apply to call your military police to come and intervene with the civil law enforcer. You didn't do it. You just put people in the street. You started to beat up people. And the police officers are able to say they were doing something wrong. The police had a strict rule. No motorbike goes to Monrovia. You can be whosoever your partner going to Monrovia. So if you came and they were giving you an opportunity, it should be done in a more responsible manner. But to exhibit what the army did, the chief of staff should be gone. They have to summon the defense minister, the chief of staff, and to make sure they gave a reason when the reason not general, because the chief of staff was confirmed by the legislature, though appointed by the president. So they can give him a photo, no COVID, and he can be gone, including everybody in the identical unit. They should face military justice for what they did, because it was definitely wrong. Coming to the capital. The problem I have with the majority bloc is bringing in Coon. The Constitution says Once you got selling and move, you form a quorum to do the labyrinth business. You should have a presiding officer. The majority black already have a presiding officer who is Thomas Fala. Ignore the fact about having a speaker now until you come back together as a team. But putting coup over them made their situation to go a little bit soft. For people to should by now understand very well that there's a vote of no confidence from the very colleague that sat on your gavel. Why would you still want to be fighting an uphill battle that you will never win? And you expect the Supreme Court to say, for the people right? The Supreme Court cannot interfere with the function. I will clarify that, I will say that again, I will choose the word. They cannot interfere with the function of the legislature and their working. They can interpret the law, but they cannot interfere with the function. Part of their function is to get the speaker and remove the speaker. You can say not to remove the speaker, who will be the speaker?
Thank you so much, Mr. Gayas Bazigia there. Let's hear from this other person. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, thank you very much, Matthias, and I want to say good morning to your guests.
Right.
I'm Prince Nasir. I joined the conversation from District 17. Matthias, you know, it's unfortunate when people are not here to experience the reality. Sometimes I think their utterances or their perception about Liberia in the politics is more political. And I listened to the guests this morning, making some comparisons with the previous regime and that of the current one that we are under the rescue regime. Let's be different. Let's be clear with it. We, the Liberian people, we felt that the CDC-led government was not in touch, in line with us. There were so many things, like he talked about the security, the economy, and what have you. The CDC had no solution, had no answer. But let's face the reality. We thought this rescue regime would have made some significant progress or some significant change to all of the things that they criticized. But come to realize they are wise. And that is why people don't want to understand. They 1 year or about 13 months now, everything that we have, I don't even want to talk about the economy because the economy is in a downturn. You cannot compare.
He just said comparison was 20 between George Weah took office in 2018. So comparing 2018 up to 2019 and comparing 2024 up to 2025.
Yes,
that's why he did.
There's no comparison. That's why I'm saying I don't even want to talk about the economy because in 2018 and 2019, when Liberians look at 2024 alone, look at the living standard of Liberians. Come to the country and experience the amount of begging that people have to beg. Look, people have lost their jobs. The level of unemployment. Then he talked about the security. Do you know what we are going through in this country? The level of lawlessness in 2024 and 2025 just alone, even from Capitol Hill and more citizens, more violence and what have you, the mysterious killing on the increase, on the rise, and then the guy will tell us that the CDC-led government was worse than this.
Thank you.
True.
Thank you.
On paper.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Let's squeeze in this person. Good morning.
Good morning, Matthias.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, yes.
Welcome. Hello, Mr. Harris. Hello.
Good morning, Matthias.
Yeah, good morning. Go ahead.
Yeah, good morning to your guest. And I listened to him, the way he discussed the issue of the AFL, the Liberia National Police, and the Liberia National Police run the civil affairs of the states. And I like that. And I like the way he composed himself for all he did for the past regime. He was not being paid attention by the past regime, and he conducts himself. I like the way. But one thing he speaks on, I want to respectfully disagree with him on the issue of the legislature. He said majority carry the day. But at the legislature, to have a speaker, you need a specific number. And to remove the speaker, you need a specific number. Can he speak on that? Thank you.
Okay. We don't have much time now. Let's get back to Obed. Obed, I think we just violated right now. If we're taking 5 minutes of extra time, let's quickly respond to the concerns. I actually want to bring another one, but maybe we'll have to do this another time. And now that you're back in the public space and on the radio, we're going to have some conversations regularly.
Right. Oh, yeah, definitely.
Right.
Okay. Let me start with the last one. The country has to function, Matthias. Okay. You cannot hijack the country it was a speaker. The country has to function. Decision has to be made. This is why I inserted the Liberia being the representative democracy,
right?
Okay, that we can use to move ahead. Okay, I mean the speaker, the former speaker, took his case to court, and the court could not help him. Okay, and Sarah's, I don't know that, is that Sarah Basikwa that, because the twins, right?
Yeah, the twins, but this is not the twins. This is Gaius Basikwa. He's one. He's He's a brother to the twins here.
Right, he said right. The Supreme Court cannot dictate to legislation to the legislature. Okay, because there's a separation of power. So, but the country, brother, it has to go forward, regardless of what happened. The Constitution rules. Okay, what they happen is the rules they have there is just a rule. It's just the rule. So the rule it's not the Constitution. All right. So if we hijack the country, that means nothing's going to happen in the country. We have to make a decision, brother. That's all I was saying. So in making my decision, I have to invoke democracy. We say the majority rules because Liberia is a representative democracy. That's all that is. And now, let me go to the guy who said, talk about the lawlessness in 2024, 2025. Come on, Mental, you know this one is a joke when it comes to lawlessness. This is a complete joke. I mean, the level of killing we saw during the CDC time, 6 years, including auditors who sincerely wanted to make the CDC successful, were murdered. Okay, people went missing. And nothing came out of that. The only problem I have with the old man is that I thought we could have looked into the auditors by now.
And that's he's calling for a review, an investigation into all of these, incidents that took place.
All right, including the EPS guy that was killed, interpreter on duty, presidential duty. I think they call him Melvin or something. We need to look into that. So for him to come and say there's a lawlessness in 2024, 2025, I'm sorry, brother. I beg to differ. But that's your opinion.
Okay, well, we have to go. I have this call from the Ivory Coast quickly. Let me just squeeze in this person. Good morning. All right, that person left the line. But Obed, thanks so kindly for joining us this morning. We're going to arrange another time again where we can have more conversation on various national issues. I'm glad that you're back on the radio. I know how analytical you are. So from time to time, we're going to reach out to keep the conversation going.
Right.
Thank you so much, Obed. Right.
I want to thank you for assisting me during the CDC days. Whatever happens. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Keep our hair up and move. Don't blame anybody. Like I said, you did good.
I was ignored as well about even Representative Akaro's for 6 years. I couldn't even hear from him.
Exactly. And I promise that if I want to get something, I want to take you from FM 89.9, even more pastor like my man, look at my picking.
Right.
I don't know if I get something better, I'm gone. They made me the press secretary.
I tell you.
And we still laugh about that. But that keep our head high, man, and just make sure that we pray for our country, and hope that everything's well. I'm well now. I cannot leave for a year because I just got a new surgery, so I can't leave for a year. But I'll be in Liberia,
right?
And when I come there, I'll touch base with you. And whatever I owe you, I'll pay. I'm about to pay you.
I know.
Yeah, baby, I'm interested in that thing, my man. That's much says your intro.
That's it, man. Thank you so much, Obed. Thanks. Yeah. So it was a pleasure having you here.
All right, thank you.
Right, he's Obed, and that's all the time we have for today's edition of the program, Sky Morning Live on Sky 107.1. Join us again tomorrow for another fascinating edition. Thanks to my man, Michael Bayo. He remained really calm, observing the conversation. I think he said, well, this is the conversation between two friends from way back. Let me just watch them, let them do their thing. But we'll be here again tomorrow. Have yourselves a wonderful day.